Hello, my comfy catchers inside. I kept comfy being you guys and gals. A quick update. So I'm doing a quick update just to let you know. Luckily, very luckily, it has been resolved. I managed to get it sorted, and we've resolved the issue. What was the issue? I hear you cry. Well, the issue was, if we can get him out, that is these my house keys. Well, the plan today was get up this morning. We've got the car because Catherine is not going to work until tonight. So I had the car, and the plan was I'll go take Rio to school. I'll drop him off, go to the supermarket, go buy him some food and yogurt and stuff, things like I do because no one else does. Come back, prepare, and then stream. However, I lost my keys and I didn't know where they were. And it could have been one of three places. I could have been here, could have been in the supermarket, or could have been at school. And I didn't know. I panicked because when they came in, I was like, where's my keys? And then obviously at that point, it was like, well, if I can't find my keys, I need to phone up a locksmith to come out today to fix and obviously sort out the locks and make sure that we have new keys put in and obviously the locks changed and everything. So as you can tell from that, it would have been a long process. I would have had to make sure I get everything done, would have had to do everything early, would have had then to wait for that person, so on and so forth. Luckily, I found them. They were just outside the front door near one of the plant pots. I don't know if someone specific. Now, luckily, the area in which I live in is a really nice area and we all look after each other on this street. And it's like just a couple of houses each side of me here. And over the road is elderly flats or elderly homes, not flats, but elderly houses over the road from us. And that's about it. And then you'd have to walk much further down, and then you've got all the other houses and stuff that are newly built that haven't been here that long. We've only been here probably about maybe a year now, coming up to a year or just over a year. But it just used to be just all these houses here, and they were eventually built because they're supposed to be private ones, but apparently they were private. The company went bust, and then the council took over these ones here that are further down. Anyway, so we've had many times where I've had like neighbours have left their keys in the door and stuff and things like that and what have you. And luckily, like for the area in which I live in, it's really, really nice and everyone looks after each other. And it's a very, very tight knit community over here. So when it came to anyone losing anything, there would be always someone else who would come out and sort out the house or whatever, or would come and obviously take the keys, lock the door, and post keys, or keep all the keys, and then the person would come back and they'd be like, "Here's your keys," sort of thing. And I've done that with the next door neighbour, who's really cool, Sam and James. Hello, if they ever see this. But yeah, I dropped these outside. Must have dropped these near the front door as I took out the car keys. Now, my general process, or generally what I tend to do, is when I go to the front, near the front door, we have a vase which is in the passageway, and I'll put these keys on the table or in the vase so that if someone comes to the house and I'm not here, then Catherine, if she comes down, she's got some way of opening the door. Because if I take the car keys have got her house keys on, and that means if I take this and her car keys, then there's going to be no way for her to physically open the front door because we've got no other keys in the house. That's it. So when I lost them this morning, I was like, oh my God, how did I lose my keys? I've never lost my keys. I've always been very, very careful to make sure that I've always double checked everything, made sure I've got everything, locked the door, double checked the door sometimes. Sometimes I've driven so far down and come back round and checked the door again because I've got terrible ADHD. And in my head, it's like, you aren't locked door, you aren't locked door, someone's going to break in, you aren't locked door, you need to go check. And it's like, no, I definitely have locked the door. And it's like, no, you didn't lock the door. So then I'd be like, oh my God. So I'd come back and I'd double check and make sure everything was right. And then off I go again. Once I'd settled all the demons in my head saying, you didn't lock the door, someone's going to steal everything. You better check it. Go check now. quick, someone's there, you know, it's this sort of thing. And oh, it drives me crazy sometimes because I'm terrible for forgetting stuff at the best of times. So I can be in the process of doing something, and if you interrupt me during that process, or I go and do something and I don't visually go, okay, keys, I'm putting keys on here. I can see I put keys on here. If I just do this and just put them down like this and don't look, I tend to just walk off and I forget where I've put them. And then I'll be walking around the house going, where did I put my keys? Or where did I put this? Where did I put that? You know, keys is an example. Generally, I don't lose keys because keys I keep in pockets at all times anyway. And like I said, I have a process of if I'm going out, I'll leave keys there and then take car keys and then come back, put car keys there, take my keys. And I've always done that. I've never messed up. However, obviously, due to the change in me dropping Rio off at school rather than school picking him up at 9:30 and then taking him to school, I dropped him off in the insinuation in my head to say, okay, I'll take him to school. I'll go get food quickly. I'll come back. That gives me plenty of time to get stuff prepared, then go and clean up, then get ready to live stream, and then I can pick him up a little bit later because I don't need to pick him up until 3 o'clock or 10 to 3, as I said. So I wouldn't have to set off until at least 20 to 3, which is 2:40, if you didn't know. And go and get him and then bring him back, sort of thing. However, obviously, because I lost my keys, I was like, everywhere, and I was like, oh my god, how did I lose them? And I looked everywhere, and like I said, I literally went outside. I actually moved the plant pots, which is funny because the keys were next to one of the plant pots. I don't know if one of the neighbours have seen it and they've come and maybe I've left them at the door, done something stupid, I don't know, to be honest, and they've come in and put them behind the plant pot. But generally, obviously, if anyone had done that, they would have come and said to me. So I must have somehow pulled my car keys out of my pocket, pulled on my other keys. They've dropped out of my pocket. And then obviously I've then proceeded to go to school and then supermarket and come back and go, oh, I've lost my keys. Maybe at the supermarket. So I went to the supermarket, went to school. Well, I phoned school actually and said, can you check? I parked over from the front doors. Can you just check the end space and see if it's there? And obviously they're not here. So yes, crisis averted. So I was stressing out, and I would have been able to stream because I would have just been stressing about where these were until I'd actually physically found them, or until I knew someone was going to come and actually fix the front doors and change the locks and what have you. So lesson learned: don't lose your keys. Don't put them and lose them. Don't change your process. If you've got a process, make sure you keep your process. I've also got to the point of maybe I might even get some, like a chain that I can attach to my jeans that will attach to the keys. So if they do drop out of my pocket, they'll drop onto the chain and I can't lose them. I'm almost to a point of doing that just in case, or having them on like there's like these special sort of key holders that have they're fastened to your jeans and have a cord, but it goes zzz, and you can just zzz, and then unlock. A bit like what prison guards have, and you just pull it and then you just unlock and then it goes back to the place where it's supposed to be, sort of thing. Almost to that point of maybe doing that in the future, just make sure I definitely don't lose them, but I don't know. Anyway, the crisis is averted. I found them, so that's good. So I'll do a recording. We might carry on with Half-Life Alyx for on the Quest 2 here, and then we'll carry on from there. We'll try and get in some Callisto Protocol as well, because I keep wanting to do Callisto, but being just so busy and not had time to physically set it up and do Callisto. I might do a live stream of Callisto tomorrow, possibly. I'm also considering how and ways around how to do TikTok as well. But yeah, it is what it is. That's why I wanted to make a quick message this morning, just saying, look, I don't want you to come to the stream. I don't want you to waste your time. Just let you know there is no stream today. There is a problem, and we'll come back and we'll start again tomorrow. And obviously be on the way. I'm hoping tomorrow, because I know we've got workmen due to come in. I think it's next week. I'm sure it's Tuesday next week, they said. I'm hoping that's not tomorrow because they'll be coming in to do the kitchen. And again, that's another disruption, but it is what it is, you know, it's one of those things. But I'm just glad that crisis averted. We got the keys back and all is good in the world. The worlds have aligned, per se. So yeah, again, apologies. And my hair's a complete mess because I've not done not with it this morning, apart from search for keys. So there we go. That's the reason why I didn't want to say anything at first because of like, you know, talking about something you've lost and then telling people, advertising, oh, you know what? I've lost my keys. Oh yeah, let me go find his keys and break into his house. Yeah, that'd be great. So that's why I didn't really want to mention it, but we're good now anyway. We found them. They're here. So we're all good. Back to reality. Anyway, before I let you know on the crisis of the keys, which might title that. That could be a good title, maybe. And we'll do some VR and we'll leave it there as a video for today, and then tomorrow we'll come back and carry on as normal. Anyway, bye for now.